I've always been mildly obsessed with Ingrid Klimker and the way that she integrates polework and cavaletti into her everyday training. All right, I'm downplaying it. I am obsessed with her. I love her. I read these books so much. However, short of flying myself and my horses to Deutschland, I don't think we'll ever get to have an actual lesson with the master herself. But it got me thinking, surely there is an expert somewhere here in Australia that can teach me the ways. I want you all to meet Amanda LEWER, aka a polework master. She has worked with the Heath Ryan, with Grand Prix show jumpers, ridden track work, evented up to 2-star. She was even a literal police officer at one point, and she's coached over 4,000 riders and started over 250 horses. Never felt so underqualified in my life. She also once constructed a polework exercise so diabolical that a literal Olympian struggled to complete it.
Right.
Oh my God. Not feeling nervous at all for this. I do, however, have a secret weapon. Today I am traveling across the state to meet Amanda, and she's going to put Sparta and I through our paces. Coffee time. So Amanda has designed a 3-phase pole challenge specifically for Spider and I. There are going to be 3 rounds of exercises that are going to get more difficult as we go. I made it. Spider made it. You made it. Time to get him out. Where have you brought me? It's colder here now, almost 2 hours later, than it was at home at like 5 in the morning. Amanda's speciality is that she will personalize these polework exercises to the horse and rider combination. And basically what I said to her is, I desperately need to work on adjustability, because at this point in time, I would say we have not much at all. What keeps happening is every time we have to go through a combination fence, we just immediately run out of room, and we're very constantly and consistently knocking the second element of every combination. So I would really like to improve that and have a bit more control.
I always spook at that door down there.
Okay. Super weird though. I wonder why they don't like that door. Sparta already feels not so keen about going down there. Oh my God, it's literally just an adorable pony with a bowl cut who is chestnut and happens to be wearing red rugs. So the aim of the game today is really going to be working on adjustability. However, Amanda has also told me that these 3 exercises will also help to improve turns, accuracy, straightness, quality of pace, and transitions, which, let's be honest, I think that's probably a list of things we should all be working on at the moment. What I'm trying to say is you guys should definitely be replicating these exercises at home and doing them with me. With that in mind, and to make sure there are no excuses, number 1, all polework exercise setups will be pictured on the screen so that you can either take a photo or take a screenshot. Number 2, each exercise has an easier and then a more difficult path, and each can be broken up into lots of different little parts. So there are no excuses. These are suitable for every level of horse and rider. And number 3, all of these are 9 poles or less so that they're actually realistic to be set up at home, because some of Amanda's exercises are not so realistic. So to replicate exercise 1, you will just need 7 poles and arrange them as per the screen. Start by riding down the center, and you will go over the first pole, then 3 strides, then bounce through the triangle, and then 1 stride. Then you're either going to turn left or right and circle back around to bounce over the single pole, then bounce through the triangle again, ideally switching reins each time. Yeah, just warming up. I'm feeling a bit nervous. So we're supposed to be doing 3 strides, a bounce, and then somehow that's supposed to be 1 stride, which I'm mildly panicking about.
You've got standard distances in here today.
I found this really helpful guide on ridingwarehouse.com. I had never heard of Riding Warehouse before, not sure what they do, but this guide was very, very helpful. So shout out, guys.
You've got all of your striding is at a 12-foot canter stride. Your bounces are 9 feet.
Yep, 9 feet.
And then I only allow a small amount, like 1 foot for takeoff and landing, because you're not actually jumping anything, and you don't want them jumping the poles. You just want to have the poles increase the quality of the pace.
Right, okay.
This is your easy exercise, but it's still hard.
The easy one.
So
Let's all just remember this before you judge me later in the video. And although these exercises are built to be canted, do not be afraid at all to walk or trot the first time you come through, because even for a very experienced eventer like Spider, even he sort of looked down into the point of the triangle the first time we came through. So if you've got a young or an inexperienced horse, it's good to just take things slowly initially.
once you go through the last pole, turn left. Go about 4 strides, 4 trot strides and turn left. Yeah. So have a feel of your turns and what you're going to need to be doing in order to balance him in the canter.
Yep.
Also, don't get too stressed about it all, because your first canter attempt can't actually be as embarrassing as mine was.
Okay. You ready to have a go?
Yep.
We'll make it easy for you this time. When you come through on your right rein, you're going to then turn right.
Okay.
Okay? Push your turn. 1, 2.5. Bounce, bounce. Look where you're going.
2.5 strides. Oh god.
So you want to tell you, hon?
Level 1, not complete.
Like that was a fairly decent quality canter. It was a big canter. But if you're coming into a combination, or even your related lines, are going to be really hard to not get buried.
Yep.
Pop back into your canter, shorten the canter up a little bit.
Yep.
Stay tall in your upper body, but lighten your seat. Don't drive him too much.
Yep.
And just see if you can get him carrying himself and maintaining the quality of pace a little bit shorter. Now, when you come through your turn, you've got to push for your turn, but then sit quiet.
Okay.
Don't keep driving. So you ride the stride into the turn, on the turn, and out of the turn, and then sit quiet. Keep him straight. 1, 2, 3. Good girl. Woohoo! So he thinks a standard 1 stride is a bounce. That was nice.
That was better.
Lovely.
Is it okay if I do go up into a light seat sometimes?
Go for if that's what you're training in your jumping, which is what it should be.
Yep.
Go for your light seat. It's completely fine. Just don't get too far forward, okay?
Yep.
And I know what you're thinking. It's literally just poles on the ground. Like, how difficult can poles on the ground really be? The thing that makes these so difficult is that it's not about just like running through them and getting to the other side. It is about perfecting everything. When you're trying to nail the stride, the pace, the turn, the straightness, land on the right leg, keep your position in a good spot, with the poles coming up as quickly as they do, it is so not easy. Trust me.
You lost your accelerator into the turn, and then he was already backing up out of the turn.
Yep.
And then you got long spots.
Yep.
All which then caused him to go flat.
Yep.
Which in a jumping course, you're going to get rails.
Yep.
You've got, again, those corners are about keeping the quality of the pace. You've got to be really switched on.
Yes.
And as you come off that 1 stride that he's bouncing.
Yep. I feel like he's bouncing it, but it's not even like hard.
No.
Like he's
he
just like.
said that's a standard bounce stride for your horse.
Spoiler alert, Spider and I never actually managed to nail the 1 stride and proceeded to bounce this every single time. Amanda had said this exercise really helps you to learn your horse's canter stride, and that was definitely proving to be true.
Not bad. Good girl.
Oh, that one went horribly wrong.
And why do you think that it started to go a little bit pear-shaped?
I felt like the corner, I just didn't have the right energy. And then it just got long and yeah.
Starting to feel it, hon. Like
Yeah.
energy levels are dropped, so you've got to keep the leg there. 1, 2, 3. Good girl. Take your lead. Eye, take.
Ooh.
Good save. Well done. Give him a walk, hon. He needs to have a walk.
At this point, I was starting to get a little bit scared because I didn't expect the first exercise to be so difficult.
Oh,
And I think Amanda was also starting to look a little bit concerned.
harder than expected.
So yeah, they're always harder than people expect. They look at my patterns and go, oh, that's easy, but you know, it's never.
We are sweating. And I'm sweating a lot too. After just one round. Do you reckon we can attempt the second round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do the bow tie.
Yeah.
I don't think that you'll make it to the 3 triangles today. He's already got the wobbles behind from the amount of sit power that we have caused him to use.
I feel like there's little things I let him get away with that in this exercise we can't get away with it because then it just turns.
You really feel it.
Yeah, like if I don't hit that corner just right, have the energy, have the straightness, be looking, it's crap. So I feel like it's good. It doesn't let you do the little lazy things that I tend to do.
What have I learned? That I need to actually then bring this back.
Excuse me. Amanda's warning for this one is if you lack accuracy, this exercise is going to expose you. It is also designed to perfect your turns, which is another area that is a bit of a weakness for us. So this is going to be tough. So exercise 2, you're going to need 6 poles and we're going to configure them into an hourglass shape. Part 1, we will canter up through the center and bounce through the first triangle and then the second. Part 2 of this exercise is you ride a 20-meter circle at either end, bouncing through the base of the closest triangle. Part 3, you will do a figure of 8 through the center, changing reins each time. Now, do not be afraid to tackle one part at a time because if you try and do all 3 parts together, it is super challenging.
Hello. Don't mind me, just dropping my reins.
Keep the shoulders straight. Oh, nailed it! Easy! Well done!
Skirt. Not nailing the turn.
If one thing is true in life, if I nail it the first time, I will inevitably stuff it up the second because it's just too much pressure to back that up.
That one you just got a little quick to. I don't know if you were hunting down a distance or something then.
Yep. Oh, what did you see?
Okay, now try your canter circle through the base of the triangle. You can do it from that range.
Try. Whoa.
He's got distracted about
It's like
something.
something to look at.
Canter, 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 canter. Keep the rhythm. Good girl. I just have to fix that pole, mate.
At this point, Spider decided that there was some sort of invisible monster up on the hill. Personally, I couldn't see anything at all, but I could not convince him that he was going to be okay.
Keep your rhythm. Canter, 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 canter. Keep the rhythm. What?
What you looking at, bud?
So Amanda had a really good suggestion,
Do it off the other rein if you want, so he's not looking outside.
but I instead proceeded to change rein, but also change ends of the arena so that I was still facing outside towards the scary monster. Like, sometimes I wonder what's actually wrong with my brain, that it does things like this. Anyways, the change did seem to relax him, so we got there in the end.
Now come through the center of it on the figure of 8. Do that, changes. So look. And now you're going left.
1.
Yeah, good girl, nice.
Good
Go
boy.
follow it around, do it again.
Okay, part 3 really exposed how badly I throw my body forward sometimes. It's been a bit of an issue. Like, it's okay for me to be up in 2-point, but my shoulders should not be dropping so much.
Woo.
Fix your canter.
And Amanda agreed.
Watch that you don't go too forward with him through the
Yep.
change. Just stay balanced. Lift your right shoulder, look left. Good girl. Eyes. Good girl, you got that one. One more. Good boy. Now go low. march, and then put the 3 lines together. So you're going to canter straight down the center line.
Yep.
Then onto a circle, whichever way you land.
Yep.
And then you're going to do your figure of 8. Eyes, eyes. Eyes, hun. Outside aids. Push return. Don't throw yourself forward, matey. Sit tall. Wait for it to come to you. Don't chase it down.
I didn't want to get too excited, but I kind of felt like this exercise was actually easier than the
Good girl.
first.
Well done.
The last bit felt good.
Or
Yeah.
maybe I'm just actually already getting better at riding.
I think this one was easier for you, possibly because he's a little more educated and you've got more room.
Turns out I'm not getting better at riding. Humbled again.
He just started to get flatter and he was cooked. He's a good boy though.
So I ride him 4 or 5 times a week. And we do lots of cross training, so he probably gets 1 hack, 1 fitness ride, 1 jump and 1 flat. Like I try and mix it up. So I felt like I had a good base level of fitness, but like, I don't know. We're not looking that fit right now. We are sweating, we're both panting. So I feel like this was a really good challenge for our fitness as well.
Genuinely concerned the third challenge may end me, so I wanted to plug Amanda before then. Now she is very, very sought after. It's not super easy to get into her lessons because she is very popular. If you live in Victoria, you can find clinic dates on her Facebook and website, which I will link in the description box down below. For everyone else, Amanda also posts a ton of exercises and tips onto her Facebook page. It's literally like the best free resource ever. On her website, you can purchase additional pole patterns, and she also has a 6-week rider challenge there. And like the before and afters are pretty amazing. I may need this in my life. Spider. He said no more, please. Our original plan was that we were going to do all the exercises today, but Spider and I are both slightly dying, so we are actually going to go home. Yes, in Amanda's words, Spider and I were absolutely cooked after just level 2. So before we come back to face the final boss, she had some advice to help us prep.
Practice the first one more.
Yes.
And then we'll put together the last one for the next time I see you.
Which I'm excited about.
Yeah. I want to be able to maintain a canter rhythm like clockwork. And at the moment, he doesn't do that. So that's what these exercises expose with you. That's where the gaps are in your training at the moment. He's got a naturally good canter, but it's not consistent, and that stops you from being able to shave a few seconds off in your jump offs if you're going to be pure show jumping.
Yes.
Or if you lost your reins just doing the bow tie, so and that's with poles on the ground, and it took you with poles on the ground when you missed with your rhythm and your distance. Yeah. Probably about 6 strides to get him back, and that on a course you've got another fence coming up.
Yep, potentially less than 6 strides away.
Yeah.
And just like that, it was time to say goodbye to the little bowl cut Satan pony. I always feel so motivated after spending time with passionate people like Amanda. She gave me so much information in just one session, and I felt like I had so much to go back and work on at home. We will be back very soon. So first things first, we're getting spider clipped because my poor boy was sweating so badly at the end of that session. Oh. He tried to steal my hair tie. He's trying to pull it off my wrist. You can't have it. Are we going to the Olympics anytime soon? No. I mean, honestly, like Spider probably could. You really probably could. You are very good. Am I going? Absolutely not. So I feel like, honestly, I'm about to jinx myself, but I feel very quietly confident about completing this last exercise, so we'll see. I felt so determined when I got home, and I really wanted to show Amanda how much we could improve before round 2, the remix. So we got to work. I started to incorporate the pole work into pretty much 1 ride every single week, sometimes 2. Spider started to get a lot fitter, and our 2 biggest weaknesses, turns and adjustability, really started to improve. And so did my position, which was amazing. My motivation was definitely at an all-time high, and I was so keen to show Amanda all the hard work we'd been doing. Okay, you guys, so we are now a few months later. Yes, a few months. Like I said, getting in with Amanda is extremely difficult because she is so sought after. That's why I recommend going to the clinics, because it's your best chance to get in with her and get a lesson. Vida and I have been working our little butts off, and honestly, I don't mind saying I feel like we're going better than ever, but can we complete the impossible pole challenge? There is only one way to find out. On the ground right now. Oh, hello, Melon. Thanks for that. I was supposed to leave an hour ago to go and see Amanda again, and I noticed there was a little crack on the back of my float ramp. I was like, that's really weird. So I got my fiance to come out and have a closer look. So I was like, there looks like there might be water damage on the ramp where Spider literally has to walk over to get in. And he ended up following it and looking under, and turns out I have water damage on the literal floor of my float. So it looks like, I don't know, my float might be a write-off, and I just had to cancel on Amanda. Love that for me. This is the other thing. This is what I want to stress. This float lives undercover, and I keep it so clean. Where is the water damage coming from? Explain that to me. Like, how has this happened? Like, how? Feels appropriate to be back on the floor for this one. Spider's leaving. His owner has to move interstate. It's very unexpected. Was not in the plans, and so I have to unfortunately say goodbye to him very shortly. I'm just not looking forward to that at all. And sadly for us, that means we will not be completing the final exercise. Amanda did, however, pass on the final challenge so that I could show you guys in case any of you wanted to attempt it. It is 9 poles, 3 triangles, 6 bounces. Of course, I cried like an absolute baby when he left. It was very, very sad, but you know, it is what it is. And I just think that he came into my life exactly when I needed it. As a lot of you know, my equestrian journey has been pretty rough over the last few years. And although I would say I am a very resilient person, sometimes when you feel like you're just getting knock after knock, it can be very hard to still feel positive. And I would say that my love for the sport was slightly affected, if I'm being honest with myself. In the short amount of time that we did have together, I feel like we just had so many fun adventures, and he took me from literally being too nervous to go over a pole on the ground back to competing for the first time in 5 years, and reminding me that there's still a somewhat semi-capable rider in here still. So my insurance company decided not to pay out anything at all towards the repair of my float. So I'm thinking maybe you want to watch another video. I would suggest this one because it might actually help me save up for repairs or a new float if you do. Like, I'm still not really sure what insurance is actually for at this point.